I take your house and we transfer it from yourself to yourself as trustee. And it's kind of this legal fiction. And it doesn't really make any difference until something happens, right? Until you pass away, and then the other trustee steps forward and can do stuff, and they don't have to do it. They don't have to go to court, and it makes it so much easier if you've got land, if you've got a house. That would be a better way to do it. And the other advantage of that is if you become incompetent while you're alive, if you lose your marbles. Who is going to take care of you? Who's going to take care of your assets, right? And maybe you don't care anymore because you're way out there, but no, you have somebody to do that. And that would be the trustee. And so you appoint this person who's your successor trustee. Again, that's somebody who's got to trust. Right? It's got to be the right person. They got to be tough. They got to be smart. Because they're going to take care of you and also your grandkids or whoever it is. But that's probably one of the most important things to pick on is who's going to be that trustee. If you do this right, though, you can avoid having to go to probate. I remember when I was a kid, I went to a bookstore. I was only about 9, and there was this big book. It was a red book in black letters, and it said, How to Avoid Probate. And I had no idea as a child what probate was, but I knew you wanted to avoid it. If people were buying this big book that said how to avoid it, it must be some terrible thing. And it is kind of a hassle. So if you have a trust, you could avoid all of that. For most of us, that's probably what we want to have is either a will or a trust to handle these kinds of issues that we have. One other thing that you probably need to think about, it's ugly, you need to think about having something to make decisions if you get ill and you can't make your own decision for you, medical decisions. It's called an advanced care directive. It's 4 or 5 pieces of paper, sheets of paper you sign at the end, and it says, if I can't make up the decision for myself about what's going on, I want so-and-so to make that decision for me. Usually it's going to be your spouse, and then maybe it's going to be your kids. Who is going to stop life support if you think that's appropriate? Who is going to make those tough decisions? Who's going to be able to fire the doctor, move you out of there if that's appropriate? Who's going to be able to talk to Aflac and collect the money? Those kinds of issues got to get resolved. They're not all that hard, but you need to do that. I've covered a lot of territory. There's going to be a quiz at the end. So do you guys have any questions now about this? About what I've talked about? Because this is a lot of stuff. This is important. You promised me there'd be questions. So, do you have a question?
Yes, I have a question.
Shoot.
In regards to trust,